Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The bold and the beautiful B&B. Spoilers reveal that Daphne Rose, Muriel Hilaire, has been debuting some amazing scents that precede her when she enters a room. Daphne definitely has a nose for fragrances, so Hope Lovin, Annika Noel, and Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, sometimes stop mid-conversation once they get a whiff of her. The dialogue surrounding Daphne and these perfumes has been interesting. Hope recently talked about one of Daphne's scents, making you feel like you were under a spell. And most recently, Hope referred to Daphne's fragrance as hypnotic. You have no idea, Daphne replied with a smirk in the January 30 episode. Could all this under a spell and hypnotic talk be going somewhere? Perhaps Daphne's talents go deeper than just being a renowned perfumer with a knack for charming men. It's possible that B&B will take things a step further if Daphne literally hypnotizes Carter to get him to betray Hope. If that's something Daphne's secretly skilled at, it could become part of the plan she's carrying out for Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline Massinswood. Steffi already made it clear that she's willing to play dirty when it comes to this scheme. Carter struck the first blow when he duped the Forresters into signing over power through that LLC paperwork. As far as Steffi's concerned, that entitles them to sink just as low now that they're fighting back. Daphne will continue her efforts to captivate Carter, so maybe putting him under actual hypnosis could become an element in that plot. Since Daphne is such a wizard with these fragrances, one of them might genuinely play a role in making Carter do things beyond his control. Daphne might also have some hypnosis-related words and phrases that factor in. Whatever the case, it seems significant that B&B keeps playing up this idea of Daphne's scents, leaving people spellbound. They may be setting up a "the perfume made me do it" excuse for Carter if he crosses the line and betrays Hope. Our predictions point to Daphne having some surprising tricks up her sleeve, so we'll bring you updates on any hypnosis news that might bring a twist for Carter. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Carter may fail his loyalty test, but will it really be his fault if he's essentially under mind control? Carter Walton had always been a man of logic. As a sharp-witted attorney for Forrester Creations, he dealt in facts, contracts, and clear-cut negotiations. But nothing could have prepared him for the bewitching presence of Daphne Laurent, the stunning, enigmatic perfumer who had recently been introduced to the Forrester family. Daphne had arrived with an air of mystery, captivating everyone in her path with her ethereal beauty and an uncanny ability to blend scents that evoked deep emotions. Ridge and Steffi Forrester were quick to bring her into the company, hoping that her latest fragrance line would be a revolutionary addition to their brand. But it was Carter who found himself inextricably drawn to her, in ways he couldn't quite explain. The first time he caught a whiff of her signature fragrance, a delicate blend of jasmine, sandalwood, and something utterly indescribable, he felt lightheaded, almost dazed. It was unlike anything he had ever experienced, and yet, every time he was near her, that feeling intensified. At first, he chalked it up to mere attraction, but soon, his thoughts began to spiral. He couldn't get Daphne out of his mind. Her voice lingered like a whisper in his subconscious, her presence like an unshakable dream. Unbeknownst to Carter, Daphne's perfume wasn't just an ordinary fragrance. It was a carefully crafted elixir, infused with a secret ingredient known only to a select few. A compound derived from a rare South American flower, one rumored to have hypnotic properties. Its effects were subtle, barely perceptible at first, but over time, it could bend the will of those who inhaled it, lowering their inhibitions and making them more suggestible. Daphne had never intended to use it on Carter specifically. But when she noticed how easily he fell into a trance-like state around her, she began to wonder, was the perfume affecting him more than she realized? And if so, how far could she push it? Carter's behavior started changing. He became more distracted at work, his usually meticulous mind fogged by an ever-present longing for Daphne. He began showing up at places where she would be, unable to resist the pull. When she spoke, he listened with unwavering intensity, as though her words were the only truth in the world. It wasn't long before he started making decisions that seemed uncharacteristic of him. signing off on business deals without fully reading the fine print, turning a blind eye to conflicts he would normally mediate. Ridge noticed the shift. "Carter, are you okay? You seem off," he remarked one evening. Carter forced a laugh. "Just a little tired. Nothing to worry about." But it was something to worry about. Because as the days passed, Carter's attachment to Daphne grew deeper. He began to feel like he couldn't function without her. The rational part of his mind screamed at him to step back, to regain control, but the moment he inhaled her scent, all logic melted away. Paris Buckingham, Carter's former fiancée and close friend, was the first to voice her concerns outright. "Carter, you're not yourself. Ever since Daphne came into the picture, you've changed. You're too compliant. It's like you're under a spell." Carter bristled. "That's ridiculous. I make my own choices." "Do you?" Paris pressed, eyeing him carefully. "Because the Carter I know would never let his guard down so easily. Have you even questioned why you feel so drawn to her?" The question rattled him more than he cared to admit. Deep down, he had questioned it. Something about Daphne felt almost supernatural. But that was absurd, wasn't it? Determined to clear his mind, Carter decided to distance himself from Daphne for a few days. But the withdrawal was worse than he anticipated. He found himself restless, unable to concentrate. His mind itched for her presence. And when he finally saw her again, all his resolve crumbled. "I can't stay away from you," he admitted in a near whisper. Daphne smiled, a knowing glint in her eyes. "Why would you want to?" Paris wasn't the only one growing suspicious. Steffi, always fiercely protective of Forrester Creations, began digging into Daphne's past. What she found was disturbing. Before coming to Los Angeles, Daphne had worked for a high-profile fragrance house in Europe, one that had abruptly shut down after rumors surfaced about unethical experimentation with neuroaffective scents. Several of their test subjects had reported symptoms eerily similar to Carter's: increased suggestibility, obsessive behavior, and memory lapses. Armed with this information, Steffi confronted Daphne. "What have you done to Carter?" she demanded. Daphne merely laughed. "You give me too much credit, Steffi. Carter isn't under my spell. He's simply experiencing the power of true attraction. You expect me to believe that?" Steffi shot back. "I know what you've been using. That perfume isn't just a fragrance, is it? It's manipulation in a bottle." For the first time, Daphne hesitated. "Believe what you want," she said smoothly. "But if Carter has fallen for me, it's because he wants to." But was that really true? Or had Daphne taken away his ability to choose? Determined to help Carter, Paris and Steffi worked together to expose Daphne's methods. They managed to obtain a sample of her fragrance and had it analyzed by a chemist, who confirmed their worst fears. The perfume contained a psychotropic compound designed to heighten emotional vulnerability. With this knowledge, they confronted Carter. At first, he resisted. The thought that he had been manipulated was too much to bear. But as Paris held the scientific report in front of him, something inside him snapped. The fog in his mind began to lift, and for the first time in weeks, he could think clearly. The next time he saw Daphne, he didn't feel the same pull. He still found her beautiful, but the overwhelming compulsion to obey her, to be near her, was gone. "It was all a lie," he murmured, realization dawning. Daphne sighed, almost wistful. "It wasn't a lie, Carter. I only enhanced what was already there." But Carter wasn't listening. He turned and walked away, reclaiming his mind, his choices, and his freedom. Daphne left Los Angeles shortly after, her reputation in ruins. For Carter, the experience left scars. He had always prided himself on his strength of will. Yet he had been powerless against Daphne's influence. It would take time to heal, but he had learned a valuable lesson. True love wasn't about losing oneself. It was about finding someone who let you be exactly who you were. And next time, he would trust his instincts before falling under another spell. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.